Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vyan, and I'm responsible for UX designer at Gojek Indonesia. And I am delighted to be here today to show you how to write effectively UX writing that can transform your digital products. So my talks in this presentation is divided into four parts, and I'll be begin with main principle of UX writing. Then I will look at the UX writing process and workflow, and then we are going to explore good versus bad copy examples, and finally the challenges of being a UX writer. If you have any questions, please save them until the end of presentation, and I'll be happy to answer it. So let's move on to the first part, main principle of UX writing. The foundative The foundation of effective UX writing is rests on three core principles that guides every word we write for the users. The first is clear, the second is concise, and the third is helpful. Let's move on to the clear. To guide to clear is try to position ourselves as a users, give clear information. That means to guide user effectively in using our app, we must position ourselves as a user and provide clear information. This means eliminating ambiguity and ensuring every message is instantly understandable. Users shouldn't have to guess what we mean or interpret our intention. Let's look on the example. The wrong example of UX writing that doesn't clear is failure. An authentication error has occurred. It make confused for our audience, and the good clear UX writing is sign in error. You entered an incorrect password. And let's move on to the concise. We must be concise. It's not just about decluttering the sentence, it also makes the meaning easy to understand. Every word should serve a purpose and contribute to the user's understanding. So we can look at our example. The better concise is the number third, wrong password. Clear, on point, and very, very concise. Not like point one, you entered an incorrect password so long to read and so take many time to read, and the second is sign in error, you entered an incorrect password, and it's take a long time to write to read the UX writing, the copywriting. Let's move on to the helpful third. Don't make it confusing for user. Directly tell your user what that means and how to solve the problem. It's like the example before. Wrong password, just okay, doesn't clear, doesn't have any help, doesn't have any help situation. But the second is wrong password. Try again, recover password. We offer helpful solutions for their problem. And in addition, you can also combine this conversational and branded. Conversational writing should feel natural, not too technical, and empathetic to provide a smooth experiences for user. We're not writing technical manuals. We're having helpful conversation with our real people. And the branded writing means our brand voice should be strike the right balance between clear, concise, and useful content. This consistency gives our product a distinctly identity that users can recognize and trust. Now, let's move on to the part two, the UX writing. Now, the UX writing for workflow and process. The understanding of the UX writing workflow. So, to put it simply, UX writing workflow is the first export the content through research. This include conducting focus group discussion or FGD, and then synthesizing insights, running workshops, concepting testing, and user testing. Research forms the foundation of all effective UX writing. And the second, we give feedback during the wireframing process. We help create the structure and story for the overall design flow, ensuring that content strategy aligns with our experiences from the earliest stages. At the third, we make a draft and submit into project manager or designer. We ask for feedback from other collaborators so that our writing isn't biased and remains correct accordingly to project objectives. And the fourth, we monitor the interface creation process. We ensure that information hierarchy, key messages, and components used are appropriate and effective through the development. And finally, collaboration with illustrators. We give purpose to messages and make each screen meaningful through cohesive storytelling and visual impression. And this collaboration approach ensure that UX writing isn't created and isolated, but as integrated part of entire user experience design process. And let's move on to how to write a good UX writer. Usually, a UX writer goes through these five stages. The first is define the problem. Second, make a copy. The third, design and prototype. The fourth, literate, and the fifth, and implement. So, the first is determine the problem or define the problem. We work closely with a designer, developer, project manager, and stakeholders to determine the scope of the problems, allocate workload and time, gather insight, and establish project resources and research requirements. And the second, the stage two is ideation. Working with designer and the entire design team, we generate lots of ideas through discussion, find solution together, get feedback on early iteration, and co-design potential solutions by defining user flows and features. And we move on to the stage three, designing and prototyping. Collaborating with designers and researchers, we create more detailed prototype of chosen solutions, prepare graphic text for user testing sessions, and gain insight and patterns from user behavior. And the fourth stage is literate testing and literation. Working with designer and researchers, we collect both qualitative, quantitative feedback and develop hypotheses for future A/B testing for larger scale iterations. And the last stage, stage five, is implementation and deployment. Collaborating with designers, developers, and engineers, we document content when necessary, work with developers to ensure content accuracy, and ensure content alignment across all teams. In each stage, builds upon the previous one, creating a comprehensive approach to UX writing that serves both user needs and business objectives. And the part four is the example of good versus bad copywriting. So you can you can see for the good versus bad copywriting. The first is let's go send a package. The first is use daily conversation languages that is clear, positive, and uplifting. But for the second is not is a bad because it's overuse hype words and attempt to be friendly of stay relevant. And then good versus bad copy example. Other one is the first is the in the left side is write clearly and contextually showing our supports to users. And the bad UX writing is you can be friendly but don't cross the line. So we want to keep a professional, we want to keep a like a huge brand, so don't cross the lines. And the example another example is explain the problem and what the user should do. The languages is casual and not long-winded, but never make a copy that that it feel unfair and then racism to or arrogant to users. So, uh, thank you for your attention. Now I'd be happy. So thank you for the attention. Now I'd be happy to answer your questions you might have about the X writing principles, process, and best practices.